Right, guys, so we've got 2 or 3 of these American cars.
Classic cars.
Oh, classic cars.
Classic. These are cars from the 50s and the 60s where it was all about big chrome, big wheels, big fins. That was the classic design.
Yeah.
The typical car that way back in the day guys like Elvis Presley would drive.
Oh, yes, yeah,
He had a 57 Cadillac, very similar to the
blue one in the
with
background.
A big giant fins.
And the blue one, that's owned by Brody.
That's owned by Brody.
Yeah,
He's the guy
Brody owns the pub, the bar. And we'll have a chat with him.
Yes, we will.
Even if it's not now, I'm going to have a chat with him before I leave this island.
Absolutely.
Because he's a lovely guy.
So,
and his wife's superb as well. I've just had a good chat with his wife, but she doesn't really want to come on camera.
Okay.
But that's okay. That's no problem at all, because why would you go on camera?
Exactly.
Exactly.
We got 2 hairy bikers here, so we can hack it.
Yeah, definitely hairy. Some hairier than others. Let's go and have a look at the cars anyway, guys.
Okay, that's a great idea. I think this one here I could describe. This here is a Plymouth car. It's what they call a business coupe. And this is a very special car. Very few of these were actually made, but they were predominantly used by businessmen, and believe it or not, you could actually sleep in these cars. They had extended boot area so that you could take your goods with you wherever you went, and you could pull up and sell your wares, and then overnight you could actually sleep in the car. Hence a business coupe.
So, instead of a bike, I could have one of these.
You could indeed.
Sleep.
You could indeed.
And that would be my wild
This is
camp.
an excellent, solid example here. In fact, could I say to you, I think the gentleman that owns this car is actually somewhere around here, and he would probably be a more expert in describing the car and giving you a better idea of what it's about. And I know for all you guys in America, hi, West Coast, South Coast, Virginia, we love you all, and we want to bring a bit of Scotland to you. So you've got a great chance tonight to see a bit of what we do over here to keep your culture going, and we know you guys over there know how to keep our culture going with the music and the whiskey. So yeah, it's a good coming and going.
And I forgot to mention, he's a musician as well, but that's for another day.
Another day, I'll bring out the fiddle.
Let's go and get the owner of the cars, and let's see what they have to say about it.
Yeah.
Let's go and find them.
Get me
I love this. Fantastic. Hi guys.
How you doing?
Sorry, we're getting carried away and enthusiastic about the motors.
Yeah.
But whose is the Plymouth?
That's mine.
Come with me. Come and tell me all about it.
Hi there.
So, Andrew.
I'm Grant.
Grant. Grant is the owner of the Plymouth that we've just touched on and looked at, and a lot of my subscribers are in America, and this is going to be right up their street. They're going to love every minute of this.
Cool.
Not only this, but the island as well. But can I ask, whereabouts are you from?
I'm from Kilmarnock in Ayrshire, so it's about an hour's drive from here.
Yeah, and of course it's a quick ferry across, isn't it?
Yeah, it's only about 35 minutes, 40
I
minutes.
know. I was passing, saw the ferry, saw there was very little queue, and I joined it.
Yeah.
I had no idea how good this was.
Yeah.
But have you been here before?
Oh yeah, I've been here a few times. I just love the island.
Yeah.
Not only for Brody and the Cadillac Custom Hotel, but for going to Ettrick Bay. It's a fantastic scenery. It's just beautiful, and it's a nice drive right round as well.
I haven't looked at the island yet because I've only just arrived today. But I'm going to be wild camping. Well, I believe you're not supposed to wild camp here, but anyway, I'm going to be camping. Don't tell anybody. But I'm going to be wild camping, and but tonight I'm stopping at Sandy, who would just been speaking to.
Yeah.
Do you know Sandy?
I met him yesterday.
Met him yesterday.
We started talking about cars yesterday.
Yeah, well, he's a character.
Yes, yes.
And have you seen his Fiesta?
Yes, I've seen the Fiesta.
Have you been in it?
No, I've not been in it, no. That's the first I've seen it was tonight.
I'm going to swear here, but fuck me, that Fiesta is the fastest thing I've ever been in. And my background was policing in fast cars. That Fiesta. Oh, God. Scared the shit out of me. Might have to edit some of that, mightn't I?
Maybe.
Anyway, let's go and have a look at yours. And
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about it.
Well, it's a 1950 Plymouth Deluxe business
Sorry, I'm
coupe.
getting in your way there.
It's I've owned it for about 6 years. It's been hot rodded, so engine's been replaced. It's now got a 351 Windsor V8. It's got Mustang 2 front end, TCI racing box, and 8.8 Ford rear axle on it.
So does that, I mean, I know a lot about motorbikes, but not much about cars.
Yeah.
Does that make this quite a fast car then?
Yeah.
In the right location?
Yeah. It'll be quite quick. It's quick off the line.
Yeah.
Once you get to kind of top speed, it kind of slows down a bit. Just the gears runs.
More
out
like
gears.
the instant drag of it
Yeah,
goes,
yeah.
yeah. And what was the engine you've got in it then?
351 Windsor, it's a Ford engine. Ford
A
V8.
350.
One
gear
cubic,
engine.
no, 351 cubic inches. It's a 351 Windsors.
Oh, right.
So it's cubic inch, and which
Right.
is works out about 5.8 litre.
5.8 litre
Yeah.
is the equivalent.
Yeah.
Beats my little Honda 547 brake horsepower engine then, doesn't
Yes,
it?
well,
on my
just a wee
bike?
bit, yeah.
Can we have a look at the motor?
Yes, of course you can.
Yeah.
Keys. What do you want to see? Interior?
Well, I think engine is like usually the...
To be honest, the engine bay is nothing special. This is not a show car.
No.
This is a used car.
Well,
Enjoy.
you're talking of a person here that has a bike that's like a Land Rover.
So there is no nicety in there. It's just fully functional.
But it doesn't matter.
No.
It's not all. I mean, there's a time and place for everything, and there's a place. I spotted the light powder blue one being opened, and the engine looked cleaner than my bike on the outside.
Yeah.
But it's not all about that, is it? So just remind me, what's the literage of that again?
5.8.
5.8 litres.
Yeah. 351 cubic inches.
Yeah, and that's pure American
Yeah, it's Ford V8.
Ford V8, pure American. So your motor, I'm trying to think of the word to use here, but you've got this as a motor that gives you the whole feel of that American motoring.
I've got a motor that just puts a big smile on my face,
Right.
and that's all that matters to me.
So this
Every time
is
I
a
turn
smile.
on the car, it puts a huge smile on my
Yeah.
face. Every time I'm driving it, I could have a really bad day at work. I'll go out,
Yeah.
ride this for half an hour, and then I'm just like,
Yeah.
Not
Have you ever
here in
ridden
the
a motorbike?
yes, I've just actually passed my CBT 5 weeks ago.
Cool. Oh, right.
So I've got to be running around 125 at the
Oh,
moment,
cool.
and I'm going to sit my test as soon as I can.
Yeah, because what you just described there is what bikers feel.
Mm-hmm.
In that, and obviously with you, getting into the biking.
Yeah, well, I used
the
to
same
do a lot
feeling.
of cycling. I used to do a lot of events in the cycling as well, and I loved my cycling. And I'm just getting a wee bit too old for that now, so hence I'll
You don't look it.
Add a motor to it. Yeah, we're hitting 50 this year. So.
Oh, when you get to 60 or 70.
Yeah,
What about having a little look inside as well?
course you
Because
can,
it's a delightful motor. It's a two-door, isn't it?
yeah.
Was it always a two-door? This
Yes.
was built as a two-door.
Yeah, the business coupe was always a two-door. It would have
Yeah.
had a bench seat originally in it.
Oh yes.
And the salesman would travel around the States with all their wares in the boot.
Yeah.
So that's why it's got a massive boot. And then they would just sell their wares, and sometimes they would sleep in it just to save in a hotel room. So once they sold some enough room to sell wares in there that they sold on, they would get in and sleep in the back.
So bizarrely, it was like the Ford Cortina of the American 50s, is it?
Yeah.
Sort of a practical, usable
a Reps
motor.
car.
Reps car.
Yeah, basically, yeah, Reps car.
And so a Reps car, but now it's like pretty cool, isn't it? So you were saying that the interior would normally be a bench seat. It would have originally been a bench seat.
Originally been a bench seat. It would originally have been column shift as well.
Is it an auto now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. It's a TCI racing box that's been put into it, so it's 3-speed, and it's got a B&M shifter. It's just to lock it out. It saves you getting into reverse or getting into neutral
right.
accidentally. So if you're punching
Yeah.
through the gears and you get into neutral,
Yeah.
lower rev, and you kill the engine. So
Yeah. Well, let me just have a little look inside, if that's okay with
Yeah,
you.
of
Just
course
a
you
little
can,
look.
yeah.
Because this is, if I didn't have a motorbike, I'd have to have something like this.
yeah.
because it'd just be so cool. And it, from what you just said before, it gives you that feel of, even if you had a bad day at the office, whatever's going on in your life, you can go out in this, as I can on a motorbike, and immediately you're into car mode, bike mode.
And because it's an old car, it doesn't have a lot of modern facilities in it, shall we say. So if you open up the toolbox, this is something I built.
So this is a toolbox, and I can open that up, can I?
So the mobile phone charger and cup holders in there.
That is the coolest thing I've seen.
Well, you think that's cool? Wait to see. You see the microphones on the back parcel shelf?
Oh, we've got to right. So we're just going to swing round to the microphones.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you swing round to the back of the car,
yeah,
I'll show you what they do.
So we got two microphones, classic 50s microphones.
Yeah, 50 birdcage
yeah.
Microphone.
Let's go and have a look and see what they do then. So for a 50s car, we've got high level braking. Oh, and indicators as well. Oh, listen, that is the most marvellous thing I've seen. I really think that's so cool, and I've got to say thank you very much for showing me.
No, you're more than
really
welcome.
appreciate it.
Anytime.
So,
if anybody wants to talk to me about my car, I could bore the legs off.
Oh, fantastic. Do you have anywhere like social media for your car, or?
No, I'm just on the Facebook. There's a group called Gas Guzzlers as well, which I'm a member of.
Yeah.
And we just a group of guys that just enjoy cars and go out and use them and don't use them as ornaments. They're not trailer queens. We go.
No, that's clear. Yeah, and that's, to be honest, that's the way if I didn't have motorbikes, I'd have something like this, and I'd be exactly the same, and it would be usable. Like my motorbike, it's never going to be pristine because I'm using it.
Yeah.
So that's the same with you, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Listen, cool. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate that.
More than welcome.
Great stuff.
Good to meet you.
So we're looking under the bonnet now.
Yeah.
And it's not as shit as I thought.
No.
Excuse my language.
It was when I bought it, but it isn't now.
Yeah, but look at this.
When I bought it, the engine was running, but the gearbox was naff. It would only go in low box. So we pulled the gearbox out. Obviously, it's an automatic gearbox, and it's a gearbox called a Dynaflow, which I understand the technology from that was used in the Second World War from American tanks, Sherman tanks.
Oh, right.
It's a 2-speed,
Yeah.
and you can't tell when it changes gear. It's
Oh,
so
right.
smooth.
Oh,
It's absolutely
right.
fantastic.
So we've got Sherman tank heritage in your motor.
yes. So, as I say, we pulled the gearbox out. Mike, my friend, who's got the 54 Dodge, who you'll probably speak to next.
I'm going to be speaking to next. Yeah.
We did it together.
Yeah. So, so you've done a lot of work on this.
Oh, yeah.
This, from what you've just said,
Yeah.
and I just want to touch on one thing. The Tennessee whiskey bottle, does that feed straight to a tube in the car for you to have a drink then?
I wish.
That's a no then.
No, that's just a little bit of a novelty item that we thought would amuse people. So
indeed, it's amused me.
Yeah.
What's in it then?
The engine is a 5.3 V8.
What's in the Tennessee bottle then?
That's just washer fluid.
Is it just what? That's your washer
windscreen
fluid.
washer.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Washer bottle. Brilliant.
They came with an original, what was like a mason jar, which they used to do moonshine in.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it wasn't complete.
Yeah.
So we decided that we could rig something up that looked a little bit different. So
almost a waste of a whiskey bottle, though, isn't it?
yeah, it's looking a bit past its best at the moment. I think it should, maybe a new one would.
Hey, listen, it's marvellous. I mean, all these motors are wonderful. I just this. Sorry to say, guys, I think this is my favourite, and it's just down to the windscreen. I just love that sort of shorter.
When you compare it to the Caddy.
Yeah. That's like a bungalow, isn't it? Yeah. But listen, I've got to say, thank you very much for that.
No problem.
Really appreciate you showing me, and they're all wonderful in their own way, aren't they?
Yep.
Thanks a lot.
No problem.
Great stuff. Now then,
And guess who's next?
Have you not run out of battery yet?
He did.
it went.
It's about
Nearly.
time your battery was failed.
Yeah, are you another Carlisle lad?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, there you go. You see, home territory here.
I was born in Northumberland, but I was brought up in Carlisle.
Sounds like the advert for the Marines, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
I bet he wasn't born in Carlisle.
So was he a Marine then?
No.
No. Come on, show us your motor, because it's
He's always been a petrol head.
yeah. Oh, it's and actually, from what I'm picking up, you're the man that knows how to do stuff with these motors.
Well, I suppose so, yeah.
So tell me, what yours? What actually is yours then?
It's a 1954 Dodge Royal.
So a 1954
54 Dodge.
Dodge Royal, and is it sort of fairly standard this then?
It's more or less bog standard.
Yeah.
The only small custom things I've done is the exhaust system, which is underneath. And I've changed the steering wheel a little bit.
Yeah.
But the body and the engine, the running gear is all bog standard.
Yeah. And actually, I mean, each motor is nice in its own way,
Well,
but I like this as
Yeah.
a standard motor.
I wanted to keep it a matching numbers car because it's got one of the very early Hemis in it.
So, when you say matching numbers and Hemis, what does that actually mean?
Well, it's the development engine from what's in that now.
Ah, right. So,
The engine that's in that was developed
Yeah.
from this.
and what is that there?
That's an SRT Dodge.
Dodge. Ah,
Eight,
yeah. But that's a
5.7 Dodge.
modernish
That's
motor,
a modern
isn't it?
Dodge, yeah.
So, yours.
That was developed from this engine.
Wow. That's an engine, isn't it?
It's a piece of work.
That is a piece of engine, isn't it? Good. So, 1954,
1954. Yeah.
2006,
2006
and this was the development engine
for that.
for that motor. Wow. So that tells me that this, in this body, is a pretty good motor then.
It is. It's very, very smooth. It starts on the button every time. I have modified it slightly. It's got a better carburettor on than
Yeah.
the carburettor that was in 1954. It used to have a Carter carburettor on. It's got a Holley on it now. But as Mark was saying before about the moonshine jar,
Yeah.
this has its original moonshine jar,
Ah.
and that came out the factory as standard equipment.
So this here was standard factory equipment for
Yes.
this motor.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
So
incredible.
mine was complete where his wasn't. So
Yeah.
I've left it. As
Oh
it should
yeah,
be.
as you would.
it should be.
But if you can't, then it's
Yeah.
great what Mark's done to his. It's just like
Yeah,
novelty.
absolutely, yeah.
But if you've got the original, you keep the original,
Yeah.
don't you? Well, in my mind, anyway. Look, that's absolutely. What size engine's that again? That's a
It's what they call a 241, which is about 4 litres.
4-litre engine. Yeah. And what was this car when it was new? Who was it? Who was it for? You know, who bought this car?
Well, this car was originally developed for the police. That's why it's got the spotlight.
Ah, that's the
here.
giveaway here. Yeah, the spotlight. So it was designed for a police.
The police
use.
used them,
Yeah.
but the Royal was slightly better trimmed than the Coronet or the Meadowbrook.
Yeah.
So it was a slightly more upmarket car.
Than the police version would
Than
have
the
been.
the
Yeah,
police
yeah.
version, yeah.
But actually, what's thrown me a little bit there, I was just looking at the colour because I like the colour.
Yeah.
But when you start to explain like the lights on the side
Yeah.
there, now I sort of look at it and think, yeah, you've seen them in the movies, haven't we? You
Yeah,
know,
you
that's
have, yeah.
exactly right. Yes. And it's a 4-door, this one.
This is a 4-door, yeah.
And-
Not as desirable, but this model is a 1-year model.
Yeah.
So there's very, very. This is the only one in Britain, as far as I know,
So
of this model.
oh, so this model,
Yeah,
it only was out for 1
it's the
year.
only 1-year model. Yes.
Right. And you think, and very likely the only one in the UK.
I feel it is. I
Yeah.
haven't seen another one, and,
Yeah.
and
I presume
I keep mentioning them, and
Yeah.
nobody seems to know there's another
No,
one.
no. I presume there'll be a few in the US that maybe
Yeah,
around.
there
but
will
yeah.
be.
Because a
Because
lot of
I
my.
imported this from Arizona.
Ah, you've imported this as
Yeah.
well, yeah. Ah, right.
It came from a dry state, so I could get a rust-free body.
Oh, same thing with bikes, isn't it?
Yeah,
If you can.
absolutely.
Can I just have a
Because
little look inside?
I'm a mechanical man, not a body man.
No. Do you have a bike as well then?
I do, yes.
Yeah, listen. You know, I just know that everybody's got a
Davidson.
bike. Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
Can we have a look inside? Is that okay? Just a, well, I can actually, to be honest, I can see through.
Oh, it's original 1954 Jacquard material interior.
Oh, so the material's original.
Yeah.
So this material here, as I'm looking at there,
Jacquard.
original. Yeah, yeah. It's one lovely motor. I've got to say, everything I've looked at, they're all different, but it's a wonderful motor. I love it. And my background is policing, so this would have been just the one for me, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
In a police form, though, the basic version. Yeah. And as I've said to all the guys, if I didn't have a bike, I'd have to have one of these.
Well, the thing is, I'm getting older now, so I've gone to motor cars.
Yeah.
Because I like a little bit of comfort.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's
I'm
understandable.
getting a little bit old for riding bikes. for
Yeah,
long
we're all
journeys,
sort of heading that way, aren't we?
We are.
Listen, thanks a lot for showing me around.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate it.
Spot on.
And you've got a beautiful motor.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.